What's going on? So I just got to get on here and just get this out of my system, right? Uh, it's a thing about life that has always just drove me crazy, and it's why does it always seem like the good ones die, right? Like that has always bothered me. And I know it's not just me. It's always been one of the things that make people question the reality of God, because we always see it always seems like it's always the innocent that get hurt. It's always the good people that get killed, and we see the wicked get away and prosper, right? That bothers me, and I know it bothers a lot. And so I was thinking about this. I'm gonna get to what's bringing this about here in a minute. But uh, my first real taste of that was was back in the days. This had to be early '90s. Yeah. Uh, these two sisters I know that went to church. I was friends with the younger sister. We were like in the like the youth group. We worked with the youth group in church together, right? She was very. This family were very, Christians. Mom and dad grew up in the church. They raised their kids in the church. So real strong Christian family, real dedicated to the Lord, real in love with the Lord, and we're just good, decent people all the way around, right? And so the oldest sister, her name is Gladys. I won't say her last name, but the oldest sister's name was Gladys. So on her way to church one day, she had just had a baby too. She gets in a head-on collision and dies, right? Her baby survived, and I'll never forget getting that news, and it turned something in me, right? And it was funny because when I was in the world and I was around death, right, it didn't bother me as much as that because it kind of made sense. If we were in the world doing criminal things and then, you see something like that go down, it kind of made sense. But when my friend Gladys died on her way to church, not out doing wrong, that bothered me, right? It really did. It really did, right? So, okay, so today, on one of the shows, it was talking about, I guess, a lady down in Florida or whatever. She was on a jet ski and some illegal immigrants, of course, speeding on a jet ski and being all careless and stuff. They run into her. She loses her life just senselessly. And she was a Air Force cadet, got her whole future in front of her, just out having a good time on leave. And here go these people who aren't even supposed to be in this country, being reckless and careless, run into the back of her on the jet ski, and she loses her life, right? Okay. And so it really just got me bothered. That makes this video. For as animal lovers, there's a guy. I'm trying to keep my hand from shaking. I wish I had like a thing I could hold, but there's a Eddie and Chooch. For us animal lovers, we're real familiar with Eddie and Chooch. Chooch was a beautiful dog, and he recently passed away, just unexpectedly. Uh, and so of course, that's hitting home with everybody, right? And it just it just breaks my heart, right? Hold on one second. Come on, Samson. There's a dog coming down the street, so get in the house. Come on. Yeah, just gotta always be careful. This is my neighbor's German Shepherd. Watch how much she'll start barking here in a minute. Oh, it'll get noisy. But yeah, so Eddie and Chooch, Chooch passed away, and it's so heartbreaking, man. He was such a sweet animal. And so yeah, so I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about this, right? And I'm just like, Lord, this, is death and dying is such a terrible thing. Yeah, here she go. So Sorry, man. She's a sweetheart, but yeah, that's what she do. Samson, Samson. I'm sorry about that. It's good, I knew that was gonna happen as soon as I see her coming down the street. But she's actually that's pretty tame for her, right? It's usually more than that, right? So she's doing better. But so yeah, back to so Eddie and Chooch. Chooch just passed away, and for us animal lovers, man, everybody knows Eddie and Chooch. Chooch is a beautiful dog. Eddie's a good brother. He's got a beautiful story. And so yeah, I've been following for a while, and it's as if my own dog passed away. And so I'm sitting back, I'm like, Lord, why is it always the good ones? I know plenty of people that's wicked and evil out here, and they just as healthy and prospering and just doing their thing, and it's like they just seem to get away with everything. And the Lord just kind of put it in my heart and mind, like, this is all they have. They have no more life after they pass away. So they're just living their best life now, and then once they're done, it's over for them, right? And once the Lord reminded me of that, I kind of felt bad for them, but I don't feel for the wicked, and really, because most people have never, they have no idea what people are out here doing. Most people don't even really realize how evil and wicked people can be and what's going on out here. They really don't. And so, and I've brushed shoulders with that, right? And so once you do, you be like, man, these people deserve hell, right? And so the Lord just reminded me that there's no need. Let them live their lives now, because this is all they will have. So, man, I was like, yeah, 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 that's true. That is true. Once they do pass away, it's over for them, right? And for the just and the righteous and the Lord to save, we continue on for eternity, right? But we will suffer and struggle now, for the most part, for those who pick up the cross and follow hard after the Lord. This life isn't full of comfort and ease, right? And but our reward is in heaven one day. And so yeah, I just like to send a shout out to Eddie, man. My condolences, man. Chooch was a beautiful dog. I know you got Cece now, and she's a beautiful dog, and she's gonna pick up the mantle, and we will continue to celebrate like the life of Chooch. He was a beautiful dog, and so yeah, I just want to send out my condolences to Eddie, man, and for all us animal lovers. Everybody knows Eddie and Chooch, boy. So yeah, I just want to put this out there real quick. This is helping me process, right? Because if I don't, I get into a funk over these type of issues, because I love animals, and I'm gonna talk about that one day. How the Lord rescued, I ain't say I'm say how the Lord rescued me from my own flesh, right? Because yeah, I was yeah, and so that's where my love for animals and my respect for life really came from. The Lord saving me from myself, right? All right, so yeah, so man, shout out to Eddie and Chooch, man. You touched my heart, and I'm gonna still continue to watch Eddie, of course, because he has Cece, who he rescued. Cece, he went to Puerto Rico on a trip, and she was a homeless animal running the streets in Puerto Rico, and he rescued her and brought her home, and she's a beautiful dog too. So shout out to you, Mr. Eddie, man. My condolences and my prayers. All right, that's all I got right now. I feel better about the whole situation. I just had to get that out, y'all. So, all right, man. Everybody have a good day.